All right, it looks like the sound is finally up. I'm gonna try this one more time and see where it goes. Welcome. This is a short summary of all the things I learned from the Traffic and Conversion Summit. It's a crash course in terms of where people are actually how people are reacting to the things we're making and the trends that goes on, and hopefully you guys learned something. I put on the Q&A thing so you can now just start asking your questions. If you have any questions, please also indicate that that you can hear me. Yeah, okay, so the link now works. Perfect. Yeah, so this is 5 things I learned from my trip to San Diego. Traffic and Conversion Summit is a huge, crazy event with 3,500 attendees. A lot of industry people discussing the future of everything, I would say, basically. And I learned a lot. I met a lot of weird people. I met a lot of funny, interesting people. And now, as soon as I get my keynote back up, I'm going to try to share a little bit from what I actually learned. So just give me 2 more seconds, and we'll be good to go. Again, you can ask all the questions you have in the question section below this video if you haven't full screened it already, and I'll get to all the questions the second I'm done with the main thing. Okay, here we go, putting up my screen here. Perfect. Now everyone can actually hear what I have to say. I'm joining the Hangouts. I'm gonna mute myself so it doesn't get caught up. Mute microphone. Join in. Just bear with me for 2 more seconds, people. Things are going to start happening. Okay. So now hopefully everyone can see my screen. Everyone can actually listen to what I'm about to say. And I'm going to put this full screen. This is, by the way, my coffee cup and my desk that Takin took a picture of. And it's a mantra that I live by. Okay. So the first one, and one of the biggest things I would say people were talking about down there, was that the future of e-commerce is media. What do I mean by that? Well, content is now more important than ever. And if you don't have the right kind of content, it's harder and harder to get people to convert, right? So there were a lot of talks about native commerce. And what is native commerce? Well, native commerce is the merge between content and commerce. It's big sites that have a big audience and have good credibility in all the content they make, and the recommendations they make is extremely powerful and runs a lot of business. So I'm gonna go into a concrete case on how this is actually working. I met a guy from Thrillist. And Thrillist is an online magazine. You might call it a blog, you might call it a website. I don't care really what you call it, but it's it got a few 100,000 visitors each month. It was making decent money. It had a revenue for around $8 million a year. and it made most of their advertising via banners, as most websites do. But they sat down and starting to see what kind of people were actually using their sites for advertising, what kind of people were actually making money before that. So what they discovered was that there was a website called JackThreads who almost always bought all their banner spots. And it turned out that Thrillist made a shitload of money on Thrillist, and the thing that Thrillist did was that they actually bought JackThreads. So they bought the website and started switching out all the ads and a lot of the content on Thrillist.com with JackThreads links. They didn't change the name, they didn't change anything, they just bought the e-commerce site so they can start to run traffic to that site. And instead of getting 10 or 20% of their sales, it suddenly made 100% of the sales. And what happened then was that in the next few years it went from 8 million a year to 100 million a year. And maybe the most interesting side about that is that 80% of that came from e-commerce and 20% of that come from display ads. So it just shows you the power of media. And the people that are winning of the online marketing game right now are the people who create the best content and has the most loyal audience. Okay, so that's number one. And I would say, it also talked about why did this work? Why did Thrillist have this much success with buying JackThreads? And it bounds down to two really simple things. The first, they already had an audience. They already had an audience that wanted to listen to what they had to say, which is an extremely powerful thing. And two, they kept the brands separate. Most people would try to just merge all the things that JackThreads had into the Thrillist website, but they decided they wanted to keep the brands separate, and I would say that is one of the key things that actually made it really, really successful. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is something called the Great Pixel Land Rush. And we at FanBooster have been doing this for quite some time here, but in San Diego it was the big thing. The thing that you all know, that you can capture people that's logged into Facebook and visited your site, so you can put them inside your website custom audience. It's extremely effective, and you can also choose which URLs those people had visited, and you can also then try to kind of merge that content to really pinpoint the different interests people have. But they said that, and of course in Norway there are laws against this, but they said that a lot of agencies are now starting to try to pixel as many people as possible and then sell those audiences to big brands. And I can totally see why this works. All the tests we at FanBooster have done shows that you make a lot more with pixeling the right kind of people instead of having a very broad kind of target group. So getting people that already visited your website to see different kinds of advertising is extremely powerful. And it's something that more and more brands should do, and also I think all of your customers in you as well should start thinking about how you can actually pixel people and how you can use it. So for example, one example they had was that they had a marketing website close to what our FanBooster blog is, and they had different kind of categories, and all those different kind of categories or that different kind of type of content that the blog had pixel people into different audiences. So for example, if people visit our blog, they might be interested in Facebook advertising, or in analytics, or in the content type, or stats, different kind of categories, and they would pixel people and put them into the different kind of audiences. And then people would only see relevant ads from that kind of categories. So they got people in to click when they saw content, and when they then went out of the website the next 3-4 days, people would see relevant ads from that website. And that worked out really, really good, and is also something we tested here, and it works really great. So the term pixeling people and using pixels is something that's going to be more and more common in the days going ahead. All right. Then we are in a kind of situation where traffic is now a commodity. So getting traffic is no longer hard. It's like getting fuel. You just pay the market price for what traffic costs, right? And that's something we need to understand, that getting people to actually click that ad, for example, is not that valuable. But getting the right people to click it so they actually buy from it is the thing we want to do. So it's not about getting as many people as possible to click or to see your ad. It's about getting the right people, and that's a lot about targeting, and targeting the right kind of way. And there I would say things like using custom audiences, uploading your customers' CRM data, emails, or phone numbers and stuff like that is more and more important to get the right people to see it and create the right kind of traffic, instead of just creating a lot of traffic. On a side note there, I would also mention that of course you need permission to market to those people if you want to do that. So, and then we're going to go into landing pages. And landing pages is something we all know and love, but it's also something that more and more people are starting almost to look down on, which I think is a ridiculously stupid and kind of it's a weird thing to do, because I think we're going to go into a second kind of revolution in terms of landing pages. And what a landing page eventually is a way to kind of laser focus what action you want that visitor to do, right? And historically, you just put up a page and you just hope people would use it. But new tools, for example, now in the Fan Visitor Creator, you're able to do real-time A/B testing of all that kind of content and what kind of color converts, what kind of form, size works, what position, what picture. You can test a lot of things, and that makes the landing pages even more effective. And when you put the landing page line of thought into the sales funnels process, it gets really interesting. So hopefully all you guys know the sales funnel as a whole. And the sales funnel is where you capture people and then you nurture them until they're ready to buy, right? And getting you to leave the first kind of data is the most important thing, and then you use sequentially emails, for example, or something like that to kind of nurture people until they're ready to buy. So landing pages are going to come back in a big way, and it's going to be extremely powerful, especially when you combine them with your sales funnels. So we're in for a treat. And the last of the 5 things is what's called native content. So what is native content? Well, native content is content created specifically for that channel. So a lot of brands cheated early on by posting the same things you post on your Facebook page on your Twitter account, for example. And that's not a very good way to do it, because it's a different crowd that's used to communicate in a different kind of way with different kind of tools. So native content is really about creating the right kind of content for the right channel. So for example, I would say one of my heroes, Gary Vaynerchuk, is very good at this. If you go to instagram.com/GaryV, you see a lot of his pictures are specifically designed and well designed for Instagram as a channel. But if you visit medium.com/GaryV, for example, it's the same messages but told in a different kind of way. It's a more long form thing. He uses different kind of graphics, and it's just a different message for a different channel. And if you go to facebook.com/Gary, you'll see the same thing. He has then custom videos, custom things for the Facebook platform as a whole. So being able to create native content for the different kind of channels you have is a very important thing. Okay, so how do we sum that up? Well, I would say the most important things that still is very important, and I think this has been around for whenever marketing started, but it just keeps on getting repeated over and over again, and we need to remember that you need extremely good content, you need access to the right kind of people, and you need to make them trust you with your content. And that is the most important thing you can focus on for creating a successful business online, and that's the 5 things that they kind of summed the whole thing up in San Diego. So there you have it. I'm gonna quickly sum it up again. So the future of e-commerce is media. It's about the great pixel land rush. Traffic is now a commodity. It's not about getting enough traffic anymore. It's about getting the right traffic. Landing page is going to go through a second revolution, and it's going to be tightly integrated to all the sales funnel thoughts. And native content is here to stay. You don't have the ability to just kind of cheat your way to it, to just post all the different things in the same channels anymore. It's about creating the right content for the right channels. So that's it. I'm not going to steal a great deal more time from all you guys. If you have any question at all, you can ask it now below the video, and I'll try to answer it now before I go offline. Or as always, you can just reach out, thomas@fanbooster.com, or on Facebook, or all the social channels, and I'll be happy to check it out. I'm also going to keep on posting some content on blog.fanbooster.com from things that I've learned, and please feel free to share that, comment that, and give me some feedback on it. Okay, no questions right now, then I just wish you all a great day. Thank you for your time. Thank you for staying with me in that technical kind of glitch in the start, and I wish you all a beautiful day, and we'll talk real soon. So bye.